everybody, welcome back to another video here on my channel. I'm Lydia and welcome back to another Royal Talks video. In today's video we're going to be exposing the lies of the anti-monarchists. Yes, I know I have done this before on Royal Reports Lydia, not exposing their lies but sort of addressing their problematic, sort of ways that they work. But today in today's video I'm going to be exposing their lies because they spread a lot of misinformation and I want to clear this up for the people, again, that get lost in this, online world. And sadly, they get, they see this post from the Republic and they're like, oh yeah, this is true. And then they see something else and they get a little bit confused. I'm hoping this clears up some of those lies from somebody that's studied the history of the royal family. I'm just gonna put a disclaimer again, right? I don't have any problem with people not liking the monarchy. If you don't like the monarchy, that is completely fine. You're allowed to your opinion. But I don't agree with people going and ruining events, like destroying public property, being rude to people in general, and just making a hate campaign against someone. If you don't like something, you shouldn't be following it, Like, other people are allowed to enjoy stuff. If you don't like something, don't follow it, simple as. The one on our list that anti-monarchists always come back to me with, this is literally this is the only reason that they have an argument, right? So, obviously, you've probably seen this in Royal Reports Lydia, but I'm going to just briefly explain it again. So, lots of people who are anti-monarchists seem to think that the royal family are getting a 45 million pay rise in 2 years, which is true, but it's not what they think it is. For instance, they will go, we're paying them an extra 45 million pay rise, which is not true, because we are not paying the 45 million pay rise, the Crown Estate is, from the monarchy's land. Now, how it works is the king, his Crown Estate, surrenders all the money that they make to the treasury. They surrender all that money, right? And then it goes from the treasury to a paycheck for the sovereign's grant that pays for the king, queen, the working members of the royal family there. Paycheck from the Crown Estate funds. It's not always from public money.
So, royalists and pensioners, how many freezing old people is King Charles worth? How many pensioners should have to shiver through the winter to ensure His Highness can continue to live a fairy tale existence of publicly funded pleasure? A couple of hundred freezing old people, is that enough? A few thousand pensioners. 10,000 80-year-olds, 100,000, more pensioners? Well, yes, the answer is actually more, but that's only if we view the situation through the lens of the King's latest pay rise, which is what we're about to do. Because the papers let slip this week, with hardly any fanfare at all, that King Charles has won a huge pay rise. In percentage terms, it dwarfs what ASLEF has won for train drivers and what the BMA has done for doctors, as Chaz is going to trouser an astonishing 50% pay rise this year, equating to £45 million extra in hard cash. That would keep 155,000 80-year-old pensioners. It would keep their winter fuel allowance of £300.
Except, Matthew, right, that's not how it works, because the winter fuel allowance comes out of a different paycheck than the monarchies. This 45 million pay rise that Matthew Wright and all these people who don't understand the monarchy are gibbering on about because they don't understand what they're talking about. They keep saying it's a 45 million pay rise. It's a 45 million pay rise from King Charles investing money in wind farms, causing the Crown Estate to go up in funds, meaning that the money is actually going to go up in 2 years. So in 2 years, the King will get and his working members of the royal family will get a 12% cut of the Crown Estate funds from the Treasury, so they get less, which means that the Treasury will take the majority of the funds from the profitable wind farm that has been installed on one of the Crown Estates. Now that means that basically the Crown Estate will have more money to give to the Treasury, which means there's more money for the economy. So because the Crown Estate's going up, the Treasury gets more money for us, the economy. Hello! Number 2 on our list of anti-monarchist lies is another one that really annoys me, because again, this is another one they put out of context. The King is above the law. Of course the King is above the law. He's head of the state. But guess who else is above the law? The President, the Prime Minister. People that are above the law who make the law are also above the law. So what's the argument, anti-monarchists, You're saying the King's above the law, forgetting that actually the people you want to actually run the country, the President or a President, is above the law as well. Make it make sense! Okay, so the next one, number 3, another lie or an opinion. I call it an opinion or a lie. I don't particularly know, but we're going to call it a lie because technically it is a lie. But yes, this one, really annoys me. The anti-monarchists say this all of the time. They go, oh, there'll be a brighter future without the monarchy. And I'm like, no, there won't. No, there won't be a brighter future without the monarchy, right? If you look at the selling point of the UK, it is the monarchy. Literally, if you go into boats, planes, tourist attractions, whatever, and you go into a shop that's like a tourist thing, you know, you will have people selling, I don't know, I went into a boat on holiday last month, and in the England section, you know, welcome to Britain or whatever, on the boat, there was a massive section of just key rings, right? And all these key rings of Britain, there was like a few that were, you know, maybe our football team or something, but I'm telling you now, there was majority of them, right, were literal key rings of the royal family. Key rings of the late Queen, key rings of the King, key rings of Buckingham Palace, key rings of the English flag, key rings of Kensington Palace, key rings of, what was another one? Key rings of, oh yeah, there was a keyring of Westminster. There was also a book about the royal family. There was a book about Welcome to Britain, about, you know, our culture and our history and stuff like that. And I'm telling you now, the majority of it was about the monarchy, right? They are our unique selling point. Like Sweden has a royal family, that's their selling point, and they have a different royal family that runs differently to us, right? And it's the same in Monaco and stuff like that, right? They have royal families, right? It is unique that a country has a monarchy, right? It's not something that we should be sitting there going, abolish, 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 because actually they are really good for this country and people forget that. Yes, they have strange rules that we particularly don't understand, or they run traditions that maybe are a little bit old-fashioned in modern people's frame of minds, but that's part of our rich history, that's part of our rich culture, and it's important that every single country has a rich history and a rich culture, and the British royal family are part of Britain's rich history and rich culture. If we get rid of them, that's half our history just halved, because we don't have, the majority of our history is the monarchy. And people forget that. They go, oh, they're so useless, but actually they're really important to keeping our rich and incredible history going, right? It's important for all countries to have culture. And the British royal family, whether you like it or not, are part of our rich culture. And they are so important to this country. Not only do they bring billions and billions and millions and whatever per year to the country, which is more than most things in this country that are tourist attractions, they also do a lot for charity, which is really important. Without the monarchy, so many charities will suffer. Four on our list is a really boring one in my opinion, and it's actually a really, really tiring one. You see these Extinction Rebellion people, they're part of the Republic Party. I think they are, but I think they are. But the Extinction Rebellion people, they go around into every single castle, every single gallery, and deface public property and deface pictures and something with, you know, beans and, beans and spray paint. And you look at these people and you're like, you do realise that spray paint is extremely bad for the environment, right? And another one is they're throwing beans at public property. And I'm like, you've just wasted a pack of beans and threw it on the floor. But you do realise that you're meant to recycle packets of beans, right? Like, you know, Heinz beans. And they just deface public property on purpose using environmentally dangerous things like spray paint and those, what are they called? What are they called? I can't remember what they're called. They're like lighter things. I can't remember, spray lighters or whatever. I can't remember what they're called. But they use those things that are actually putting dangerous emissions into the environment, but then they're sitting there campaigning going, you know, we are hurting the environment. And I'm like, you're hurting the environment, practically sitting there, wasting paper, wasting food resources that somebody could eat, and you're sitting there defacing public property. They've defaced Buckingham Palace, you know, the fountain outside Buckingham Palace before with spray paint, and I'm like, you do realise that spray paint is dangerous for the environment, right? So I don't understand what their point is. Again, they're from the Republic Party and they spend their time standing outside Windsor Castle, Buckingham Palace going, Extinction Rebellion, blah, 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 blah. And then they spend time wasting public resources and wasting public time. And basically, they do it on a weekday, all week sometimes. Sometimes they've done it for 2 weeks when they should be at work, earning money for their family and earning money for the economy, and they moan all the time. Those are the people that moan all the time that they don't get enough money, yet they're standing outside Windsor Castle saying Extinction Rebellion when they could actually be going to work. Anyway, yeah, those people really annoy me because they've now moaned that King Charles is not very environmentally friendly. Yet he was the person, when he started out as a working royal, campaigning for environmentalism. He knows about it, he did a degree in it, as did the Prince of Wales. And people are now making out like they aren't environmentalist friendly people. Now, let me just tell you, right, the monarchy over the years has bumped down how many emissions that they do. They've bumped down how many trips they make in planes, how many, you know, they use environmentally friendly helicopters, they use environmentally friendly planes. They use less resources now than they did because they are all incredibly environmentally friendly. And the king even has made changes, you know. He's very passionate about the environment, but he does a lot of stuff, you know. He helps plant trees, he helps do duties that's based on the environment. So he does a lot of stuff that's based on the environment. Yet the only people that are standing and doing nothing are these rebellion extinction people. King Charles is out planting like thousands of trees and putting in a wind farm, right? A wind farm that he's got money from now, which is going to put more money in our economy. You know, he's putting out a wind farm, investing in loads of these environmentally friendly stuff, and as is Prince William with his Earthshot Prize and stuff. And all these Extinction Rebellion people are, even though they say that the monarchy aren't doing anything environmentally friendly, yeah, I've told you they are. These Extinction Rebellion people are sitting there with their stupid signs, standing outside in front of Buckingham Palace and whatever, basically defacing public property and adding more emissions into the air. And they're probably not even sitting there at home doing environmentally friendly stuff. So you can see where I'm going with this. They're preaching, but they're not even doing themselves. They probably don't. Most of them probably have never studied geography in their life or done environmental science, so... liars! So yes, number 5 on our list is the last one on our list because I'm just going to highlight some of these lies that the Republic Party peddle all of the time. Well, I'm just going to say that they all the time say, oh yeah, what's the point of the king? What's the point of the monarchy? Well, we could say about what's the point of the prime minister then, because the monarchy actually has a very specific duty and so does the prime minister. Again, these are uneducated people, so they actually don't know what they're talking about. When it comes down to the monarchy, they are supposed to be a representation of pride, unity, culture, heritage, and they also help out with voluntary stuff and, you know, charitable, they go and see charities and help charities and stuff. I think I've already explained this, I'm going to be really brief. But they also help out with continuancy for this country, and they also work for the people, right? So the government's role is to be, you know, doing the laws, running the country. And on the other side, the monarchy, the head of state, is supposed to be the people, which they do. They do, unity in the country, community work, voluntary work. They help charitable organisations. They help people that are disadvantaged in society. They bring stuff to light. They use their money and stuff like that for other people. They help bring... they help stop stigma around mental health and homelessness and stuff like that. And they also help with just general stuff in this country. I could go on, but that is basically the point of the monarchy and the king. So yes, I'm going to just put another disclaimer out. Again, all of these things could be just an opinion, but these republics people take it like a step further and they go around with their signs and ruin every single event, and also to the point where they do it in front of children. They've done it in front of George, Charles and Louis before. How does that make them feel? How would they like it if somebody was standing outside their house saying, you're not my friend or whatever? I mean, most of them probably wouldn't care. And their excuse all the time is we don't pay for football stadiums, or we don't pay for this and we don't pay for that. Not realising that we actually don't pay that much for the monarchy. We pay more per year for the government. You know, the government costs us like £300 in council tax and whatever, and road tax and whatever. And, stuff that we have to pay for the government because it's law. But the monarchy costs everyone like £1.30 per year. That's per year. Think about the hundreds we pay per month to the government, right? And then compare that to the £1.17 or 30p or whatever that we pay to the monarchy. They are so cheap. They don't cost us literally anything. £1 is literally nothing. You could go down to a sweet shop and buy a sweet for £1, but you wouldn't get anything else with £1. So which side are we on? You know, they moan, anti-monarchists moan and say, oh, I hate paying money. But then they'll be happy with the president that will bump up tax, make them pay more tax. And then, you know, when they had a monarchy that cost them about £1.17 per year, and the majority of their wages are paid by the Crown Estate, which they fund, which they help make money for. They make no sense. So yeah, in my opinion, if people hate something, I just think they should generally just ignore it, or not follow it, or not do anything, or not associate themselves with it, and not ruin it for other people, because that is really selfish. Like, I appreciate some people don't like the monarchy, and that is fine. But when you don't like the monarchy, you should just pick up your bags and just ignore what's going on about the monarchy if you hate them that much. Instead of analysing every little detail and trying to get rid of them when they actually are an important asset to the UK and to this country and to the Commonwealth in that matter. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, smash the like button and also press subscribe for more royal gossip. And I hope to see you in the next video. And yeah, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.